Welcome to the start of the long holiday weekend, right? How much do we love holidays that are on Mondays? So much. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I think my little tripod is crooked again. I'm trying to straighten it up. That's probably as good as it's going to get. Okay, so we've got just a single break tonight, and yeah, a little bit of information that we go over before we get started tearing into things. So that's what you see up there now. Feedback is 100% automated, and that is simply so you never have to wait on me. Anytime you leave positive feedback for me, you will get the same in return. Far more importantly is a big thank you. I appreciate you being here. I enjoy everyone chatting and hanging out with me, and always appreciate those who bid and break with me. We're taking a look right now at what's coming up in the days ahead. I don't think I've ever looked at my schedule and seen it look like this, right? We usually do several breaks per night, but for the next 5 days, we're sticking to one per night. We got a lot of base card heavy stuff we're working through right now. So tomorrow night will be a half case of Prism Baseball. It is the back half of a case we started a few days ago. Sunday is an off night. Then on Monday night, we're going to open a half case of Bowman Baseball. That's also a case, the back half of a case. Tuesday, we're going to open Legacy again, like we're going to open tonight. And once again, it will start at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on that night. And then on Wednesday, we have just one new release on Wednesday. Actually, oh crap, you know what? I think we did have another one. I think we had a Topps new release on Wednesday that I forgot about. Ruh-roh. All right, well, I guess we'll open it on Thursday. But Wednesday night, we will open a 10-box case of Leather and Lumber Baseball. That's a new product from Panini, and it's pricey, right? It's very expensive. It's like $2,000 a case. So I'm expecting we're going to get some pretty good stuff out of that. And I can't believe I forgot to list the Topps baseball product. So I will either list that later on a 3-day listing and have it show up to also end on Wednesday night, or we'll just break it Thursday instead. I don't know which of the two. I'll have to figure that out. So here's what you need to know about tonight's break. First of all, there is no mail pickup, no mail delivery on Monday because that's the holiday. So that means what we're breaking tonight is going to ship out to you approximately Tuesday because I cannot get it out in time tomorrow with short post office hours on Saturday. No mail on Monday means Tuesday is our first available date to see this head out the door. It's going to be a 12-box case. It's break number 2. And of course, every team is going to pull cards in here because this is, well, it's got a lot of cards in it. Veteran base does not ship to the teams in this break. Now, it said that in the description. Hopefully, everybody read the description and is aware of that. Veteran base has its own separate bidding category. So all the veteran base cards go to that category. Teams are going to get rookie cards, numbered cards, autographs, relics, parallels, and inserts. Everything else goes to veteran base. So it's a 12-box case, 2019 Legacy Football. Full inner case break number 2, ended tonight on eBay Friday night the 24th. And of course the format everybody's familiar with by now, which is team names on one side, your eBay user ID is across from the team on the opposite side if you're part of this break tonight. And one more reminder, veteran base with its own bidding position down there. So all veteran base cards go to that particular spot. Now I'm going to change up the focus a tiny little bit here. You're going to notice that makes the background go out of focus, but don't sweat that. We are going to be able to actually see what we want to see a little better as a result of me tweaking this, if I can get it landed in the right spot, that is. I seem to be struggling there a little bit, didn't I? All right, we got to get all these boxes out of this case, and then, of course, all those packs out of those boxes, and that's what takes most of the time it takes us to do the break. It's just getting stuff out of other stuff. But first and foremost, I got to get boxes out of here so that we can get started momentarily. All right, I'm going to do something here. It's going to make your camera shake a little bit probably, but I got to find an easier way to get this last layer out of there. They don't really entirely want to cooperate. Some of these boxes making my life difficult. They are. Okay, here we go. Now, everything is out. Let me get some sleeves out on the table, and then we're going to be ready to rock and roll here. Nicholas is here. Nicholas, haven't seen you in a while. How are things? You're in Florida, right, Nicholas? Are you having extreme heat down there? We're having unseasonably warm weather here, but I'll take it. I will gladly roast in 90-degree weather as opposed to freezing in 0-degree weather. That's just my take on it anyway. And Swifty SSQ is here as well. Hi, Swifty. I don't know what part of the world you're in, Swifty, but you can fill us in if you feel so inclined to share. That's up to you. So, Legacy Football. It has got 2 hits per box in it. Autographs, sometimes a relic attached, sometimes not. Loads and loads and loads of inserts and numbered cards and all kinds of other stuff. So as we go through this first box, I'll take a little bit more time to look at those inserts and numbered cards and such. And then as we get, oh, this cord is in my way. And then as we get into subsequent boxes, we'll go through them a little faster without spending so much time on that sort of thing. Ooh, hang on. Sorry, got to sneeze. Hang on. Oh, man. Excuse me. Oh, that was a big one, too. Sorry, it's really hard to make them quiet when you have to do it into your elbow, right? Because I can't do it on my hands, obviously. I'm dealing with cards. So, yeah, that was like a Dumbo the Elephant sneeze, wasn't it? Sorry, that's quite loud. Sorry about that. Allergies, yeah, 'tis the season. Nicholas, you said it was high 80s, low 90s with low humidity. Must be nice. It was high 80s, low 90s with extremely high humidity here. So I think I would take your low humidity over mine. Swift SSQ is in Minnesota. Minnesota, eh? Kyle's here. Hi, Kyle. You are a Broncos fan, and you've been outbid a million times. I'm improvising. You didn't say a million. You said a bunch. But anyway, but you got them tonight. Well, all right. We need to do some good for your Broncos. And you're in Colorado, so it might be not quite so hot in Colorado, right? Nicholas, you got your grill fixed today? You can invite everybody over? You have a big cookout? Are we invited? Can we come too? Oh, Kyle, you saw me pull that Drew Lock out of the first one. Man, that was nice, wasn't it? We'll have to try to find you another one tonight. It was a dual relic, Drew Lock to 10, if I recall correctly. You said the Steelers have 5 autographs in this, Nicholas. It is Terry Bradshaw, James Conner, Lloyd Bush, and who else? Oh, and Snell. Okay. Well, that's good. And now, let's chat a minute about what we're going to see in here before I pick up this first stack. We are going to find that our rookies are in their college uniforms, okay? So, what that means to you is this. If they were drafted in the official draft, they're going to go to the team that drafted them. If they were not drafted in the official draft, but they subsequently signed a deal, whether it was a minicamp deal, a rookie deal, doesn't matter what kind of deal, if they signed a deal and they became associated with a team and they are still associated with that team, they're going to go to that team. If they signed a deal as a UDFA and then they have been cut in the interim, but they have not signed with another team, they would go to the last team they were associated with. All right? If they were cut from a team and then have, in the meantime, signed somewhere else, then they would go to the new team with which they are associated. Was that typically confusing for you? I mean, I know there's no good way to explain the way that we do it, but that's kind of how we do it. So there are some chrome parallels throughout this product, and this, of course, is the first one that we're taking a look at tonight. It is Eli Manning, and it is numbered 250. So, of course, once again, inserts, parallels, numbered cards, autograph cards, relic cards, and rookie cards all go to the team. It's only the straight up base like this. That's what the straight up base looks like. That is going to end up going to the veteran base bidding category. Kelvin Harmon. And we have ourselves a nice little relic autograph combo to start it off tonight. And despite all the massive amounts of sorting I have done, I still don't remember Kelvin Harmon, so I have to look him up. He is a Redskin. So the Redskins drawing first blood tonight in terms of our hits. Anyway, so that's how that goes. You said, oh, Nicholas says if we want to drive down there, if we want to drive to Florida, we're invited to the barbecue. Hey, man, you never know. You shouldn't throw things out there. You might get a whole house full of people. You never, ever know how things like that might go. And Honky Kong is here. Hi, Honky Kong. So this is an example of a chrome that's just is. I mean, there's no number. It's not a refractor or slash prism. It's just like a base chrome card, but nonetheless does still go to the teams because it is a parallel or an insert. Numbered to 25, legacy insert. Marshawn Lynch for the Raiders. We'll find a fair amount of the legacy, but most of them are not numbered. That is not numbered either. When you see this red border, such as that, it is numbered to 299. We'll find some of those with a yellow border. The yellows are to 165. I think there are greens, there are blues. I can't even remember what other colors, but we'll find them in this first group, and then we'll know what they're numbered to from that point onward. In fact, I see a yellow coming up right now. And once again, all the yellow are to 165. And what else? I think that's the main interest. I mean, that's the main things that we're going to see or find that are of interest per box. It does say they're hot boxes. I don't think we have had one yet, but apparently they do exist somewhere out in the wild. That is a prism for the Bears, Kyle Long. It is not numbered, though. Nicholas, you said you have done 2 half cases of this and gotten nothing. No inserts or autographs. Really? For the Steelers? Because I just finished sorting the first 12 box we did, and I had a decent little stack of cards for the Steelers. I don't think any of them were autographs, but there were definitely some numbered things and inserts and parallels and whatnot. So I'm surprised to hear you didn't get any. That is Ed Oliver, numbered 250. And dear old Ed Oliver, I think, is a Bill, but let's double check that. Yeah, Buffalo Bills. Fortunately, I'm starting to retain at least a few of them now. To 299, when you see the red like that, that means it will be numbered to that. And what else? That's the gist of it. That's the gist of what we're looking for. Now we just have to power on through and find it all. That's the hard part. There's a lot of cards to look through. But Nicholas, when you say 2 half cases, do you mean like 2 12-box inner cases, or do you mean half of a 12-box inner, as in like a 6-box break? Just out of curiosity. DeAndre Baker here. Where do you go, DeAndre Baker? Is a giant. And that's our second autograph out of this box. And this is numbered to 50. So when we see this lovely blue color, that should key us in that we're looking at something numbered to 50. All right, so there is box number 1, and that's kind of the breakout of more or less what we're going to see as we roll on along the highway here. Okay, so you were doing 6 box breaks out of 2 different cases and ended up with nothing. The only team that I saw in my sort out of the first 12 box that we did on Wednesday night that didn't get a whole lot was the Falcons. And even the Falcons had some stuff, but they just did not have as much as everybody else did. But I'm surprised the Steelers didn't get anything, because, I mean, they had a reasonable number of cards. I'm not going to say they had 8 million or anything, but I mean, they had a pretty good number of cards. The Cardinals had a huge bunch of cards out of the first case. Of course, they've got an inordinate number of rookies, so that's why. That always makes a difference. Honky Kong says, stop buying the Steelers. Hey, man, we like the Steelers, Honky Kong. That's my team. It's Nicholas's team, too. That's who we like to cheer for on Sundays. You haven't seen any Steelers autographs yet? I would imagine that Benny Snell should come out of here with some frequency, I would think. I mean, obviously, you know, you can never say for sure, but I would imagine that he's got a decent number of autographs in here. But like anything else, you know, you just got to hit it on the right day. And I tell you what, I'm going to grab my wrist brace, guys. I'm going to be right back with you. I thought I could do it tonight without the brace, but I was wrong. My carpal tunnel is on a rampage right now. I think primarily just because of the massive amount of cards to 165 that we have been sorting and breaking lately. So dear old friend Carpal Tunnel has come back to visit. Oh, I forgot about orange. Yeah, we have orange in here to 199. That one, of course, is for J.J. Watt and the Texans. Honky Kong says the Steelers are going to stink this year. Hey, we might be bad, but you never know. I mean, stranger things have happened. We might end up being good, but I don't think our expectation is that we're, you know, Super Bowl bound this year or anything like that. But I still like to collect the players for my team, so that goes in my personal collection. I'm not, you know, trying to flip those or anything. For the Bears, that is not numbered, but it is a prism for Neil Anderson and the Chicago Bears. So, yeah, I don't know. I saw Derek Carr tweeted something up there in Oakland about how hard AB works. He's never seen anybody work that hard in his life and how much his teammates already love him, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, you give that a couple years. We'll see if he doesn't start doing to you what he did to us. But he is a heck of a player. You can't deny that. Talib for the Rams. We get a little veteran autograph coming out of box number 2 here. First autograph out. We do still have one more yet to find in this box. Number to 299 on the red parallel there. So, yeah, I mean, I like Antonio Brown. I really do. He was one of my favorite players for the Steelers. He and Le'Veon Bell both. I loved him. But I do think that Antonio Brown caused some disruptions for us. I mean, we all know about him. The Facebook streaming live stuff that he did. And, you know, whatever, sideline tantrums, etc. He's not the only player in the history of football to do that sort of thing, obviously. But But it probably, unfortunately, was best for him to move on, as unhappy as he was. So that's all right. We got Juju, and we'll figure it out. That's numbered to 100 for the Raiders with Howie Long. And the green, you noticed on the side of that, keys us into the fact that it will be numbered to 100. And that is to 299, numbered off to the side there. This is Adam Thielen. He is numbered to 100. So when we find the chrome versions that are red and prisms, they are to 100 as opposed to our typical red numbered things to 99. To 165, that was Phillip Rivers and the Chargers. And here we come to A.J. Brown. A.J. is a Tennessee Titan, if memory serves. He was, yeah, I'm pretty sure he was a Titan. Of course, the other Brown, Antonio's cousin, I think it is, Hollywood Brown, went to the Ravens. But A.J. Brown, I'm pretty sure, is the Titans. And that was our second autograph out of our second box. Nicholas, you said you had you did a case of Score. You got a Hines Ward buyback numbered to 20 and a Bradshaw autograph to 10. Wow. Wow, that was outstanding. Yeah, I only broke one case of Score, and then I sold off the rest of mine as sealed cases because, honestly, I had so much stuff here with so much base in it, and that one was taking forever to sort. It was a nightmare to sort. And I just kind of said, yeah. And so we only broke one case of Score this year. I usually only break one or two anyway, get rid of the rest. But I will say that was a nice case for you, Nicholas. And you're right, I'm a little jealous about it. I am. Honky Kong says Big Ben is the cause of all the Steelers' problems. So you think Ben Roethlisberger made Antonio Brown live stream to Facebook Live during a closed locker room meeting? I don't think he did. I don't think he did. But listen, I don't think he made Le'Veon Bell hold out either. But I don't suffer under any illusions that Ben is perfect. He certainly is not. I'm sure he has his share of blame in the scenario as well, but he's the quarterback, so you know he's not going anywhere. That's just how it goes. It's like if you're running a company and the CEO and the president get into it, it's probably going to be the president that's going, not the CEO, you know? But oh well, we'll sort it out on Sundays. I'm anxious to see how everything gets rolling for everybody. We've had so many personnel changes, and of course it's always fun to see the rookies take the field. I think it's going to be interesting in Denver, by the way. So, Kyle, I would be interested to know your thoughts on that. But my prediction is that Joe Flacco doesn't keep that starting job all season. Unless Drew Lock just gets in there and just stinks the joint up. I think that Flacco is a bench warmer, and Drew Lock will get in there about midway through. Numbered to 35, it's Amari Cooper for the Dallas Cowboys. So that's one of the interesting ones I want to get a look at. I also think it may get interesting in the quarterback room for the Steelers too. So whether or not Nick Bosa, that is not numbered, but it is a prism. Whether or not we keep Josh Dobbs as our backup, or if it goes to Mason Rudolph and some other shuffling happens, I don't know. Don't know. I did, though, see where Adam Pac-Man Jones retired today. Longtime member of the Cincinnati Bengals, if you don't know who he is. And he apparently announced his retirement today. And there is dear old Greg Lloyd, numbered to 100 with a chrome parallel. And Darius Slay autograph to 35, no less. We got another veteran autograph here, and pretty low numbered to 35 for the Lions. Kyle, you think a lot of people are thinking that Flacco will be in the Manning situation and put us in? Oh, yeah. I don't really know about that. I don't know that Flacco's like a mastermind that gets you over the hump. I mean, maybe I'm misjudging the guy. He did win a Super Bowl up there in Baltimore, but gracious, he has not been good in recent years. So I don't know. I kind of think that if Drew Lock is what we think he might be, I think he might take over there. Meanwhile, Honky Kong is wanting to know, what do we think about Eli being benched? What's the over-under on Eli being benched? It is hard to say. Should have been benched already, but he hasn't been. Numbered to 10, DeAndre Hopkins for the Texans. You have a little cracked ice there. I like that. Mama likes cards to 10. So, I mean, I don't know, but you have to think that that's in the back of their mind, right? Otherwise, why are you drafting Daniel Jones that high if you're not thinking in the back of your mind Eli may be riding the pine before the season's over? I mean, that's just my take. Damian Harris comes out. He is a Patriot. And Nicholas says Eli, he didn't think Eli lasts the season. He thinks he's gone before that. Of course, I thought several different times he would be gone, but somehow he manages to hang on. Ownership there really likes him and has a great deal of loyalty to him, so he probably, realistically, he probably should have been benched 2 years ago when they tried to bench him and it didn't stick. But that's probably when he should have hung up the cleats. But, and you know what? We may be in our own situation like that with Big Ben before too long. Of course, he had a good season last year, but the season before I won't say he stunk the place up, but he certainly didn't look like he was on the top of his game, and then rebounded a bit last year. So, I don't know. Some of these older guys still got a little bit of life in them, I guess. But I gotta think if you went up there and got Daniel Jones that high, you have to have some intent for starting him sooner rather than later. Because they could have easily just waited and taken him farther down. Honky Kong thinks that Daniel Jones is going to start the very first game. Wow, now that's a bold prediction. I would be surprised if he starts the first game. I would really be surprised. Because you've got a lot of moving pieces up there in New York, and a lot of people traded and new people in and shifting parts. I don't know that you want to throw Daniel Jones into that week 1. I mean, I wouldn't as a coach. Even if I thought he was ultimately going to hold the job of the starter, I still wouldn't start him week 1 up there in New York right now. I would wait him. I'd wait probably at least half a season before I'd throw him out there. Unless something drastic happens, of course. But who's, oh crap, who is it that backs up, who did Carolina Panthers pick up to back up Cam Newton? I can't think of the kid's name. But that's a kid that you figure will get on the field. Provided he makes it out of training camp. Because Cam's always injured. Of course, we know Kyler Murray's going to going to be on the field, no question. You got to think Josh Rosen at some point is going to be for Tampa Bay. Or the Dolphins, I mean. Sorry, I said Tampa Bay. I was thinking of Bruce Arians and what he was doing down there. I don't know why I said Tampa Bay. He's a Dolphin. He got traded to the Dolphins. Will Greer. There you go. Right. I could not think of that kid's name that the Panthers picked up. That's it. Will Greer. I mean, I don't think we'll end up with as many quarterbacks starting games at the end of this season as we had them starting games at the end of last season, but I think it'll be better than it appears on paper right now. That was to 299 for the Bears. Paris Campbell. How about the Indianapolis Colts getting ready to bring home a hit here with a relic and an autograph? And Paris has a pretty good looking relic there for the most part. Yeah, I'd say that's a nice looking hit. For Indianapolis. And N'Keal Harry is a Patriot. That is numbered to 100. You know, I don't think we had any cracked ice out of our first 12-box case. I was just thinking back to that pink cracked ice that we pulled a minute ago. I don't think we had any, so I'm kind of happy about that. This is numbered to 165. It is Kirk Cousins for the Vikings. Honky Kong says he hopes not that many rookie quarterbacks start like last year, or NT football will be $5,000. Yeah, true that. To 199. Who is on that card? Ryan Finley. Ryan Finley is a Cincinnati Bengal, I do believe. And I will, of course, check these rookies before I, ship this stuff out the door. But for the most part, well, I haven't learned them all yet, but definitely doing a sort or two helps me start to retain the majority of them anyway. Not all of them, but better than it was. To 165, that goes to the Dallas Cowboys. This is numbered to 50. Roger Craig, 49ers. Yeah, next year, I think, is supposed to be a good quarterback draft. At least that's what the early pundits are saying. And we all know it's way too early to be thinking about next year's draft, like a year or two early to be thinking about next year's draft. But we all do it, don't we? Of course we do. Every one of us does it. Devin White, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, with a chrome parallel autograph there for one Devin White. That is numbered to 299. It's Lamar Jackson for the Ravens. Oh, see, I like those legacy inserts. I think those are quite nice. My favorite insert in this product, actually, is that legacy insert. Nicholas, we talked about this a little bit Wednesday night, but I don't think you were on here Wednesday night. But, of course, this release kind of replaced Classics. They did away with Classics, which would have been coming out right now, and instead give us Legacy here. I kind of think I prefer Legacy, even though I liked the look and the feel of the cards in Classic because they remind me of cards from when I was young. But as far as the design and the hits and the overall feel of the product, or the product as a whole, I should say, I guess. I think I'm leaning towards Legacy. But what do you think about that, Nicholas, and everybody else who wasn't in here when we discussed it Wednesday? Yeah, so what do you think, Nicholas? I mean, do you agree? Do you disagree? Which do you like better? Oh, shoot, I just remembered, too, I needed to email somebody today and explain to them how to access chat during the live break, and I forgot. Dang it, I'll have to do it after the break. Oh, you liked Classic from, like, the early 2000s? Yeah, Classic from way back when. Yeah, I just think sometimes they have to put a brand on a shelf for a while, give it a little breather, and then revisit it with a new design or a new whatever. So sometimes I think it's good when they put them away and bring them back on certain ones. Now, I don't like it when they do away with things like Gold Standard and, you know, Playbook and that sort of thing they've been messing around with lately, but I'd rather them leave those as constants. But some of the secondary, less established brands, I don't mind that they occasionally give them a little pause and refresh. I'm okay with that for the most part. Kyle, you definitely like this product better than Classics. Yeah, you say for the price. Well, yeah, I guess this product was a little bit more than Classics used to be. Of course, for one thing, it's got more boxes. Classics, of course, Classic was a 10-box case, and this is a 12-box case. Classic was, for a long time, one hit. Then they made it two, but it was still like a 1-in-1 autograph versus Relic. It's to 199 Jordan Thomas, and this, of course, is two autographs, so hits are a little improved, and the number of boxes per case is more, etc. So that's why the price is a little higher too, I'm sure. This one, numbered to 299, heads to the Giants for Rodney Hampton. Rashawn Gary, we were talking about him the other night and how dreadful his autograph is. So it stands to reason he should be a Packer. One of my least favorite autographs for the entire rookie class last year was Jamon Moore for the Packers. And this year we have Rashawn Gary for the Packers. Which, I mean, like, anybody could do that, right? Because that's just kind of somebody taking a pen and doodling a knot, sort of. But anyway, if you have the Packers, that lovely, outstanding piece of penmanship is headed to you with Rashawn Gary. Numbered to 10. Nice low number insert. Mac Wilson. I believe Mac Wilson is a Brown, Cleveland Brown, I think. Nicholas, you said this release seems a little blah to you. You don't like it? Maybe it's just you don't, are the colors like too muted? Is that what you mean by blah? Or you mean you don't like the hits in it? Or maybe you mean both. Guess it doesn't have to be one or the other, now does it? For the Bears, we had a chrome to 299. That was Philip Lindsay for the Broncos. Numbered to 50, the Packers and Aaron Jones. Well, Nicholas, you said you thought the previous year's Classics was kind of blah too, so I guess it's just kind of a wash for you then, isn't it? Blah on both sides. Numbered to 100, Mr. Joe Namath for the Jets. Broadway Joe. There's Flacco. He's numbered to 165. Now, he's in a Ravens uniform, but you can see there it says Broncos at the bottom. It shows the Broncos on the back. So, of course, that is going to go to the Broncos correctly, be given to them. But I like to point those out because sometimes we have cards like that where people have been traded and Panini doesn't have pictures of them in their new uniforms. So they'll be old uniform, but with current team. And if you're just kind of glancing at it, you might see Flacco in a Ravens uniform, and you've got the Ravens thinking, hey, that's coming to me. But in fact, it is not. It's always going to go to the team listed on the card. How about Walt Garrison for the Dallas Cowboys? We pulled Mr. Walt Garrison out of our last 12-box case as well. So the Cowboys with a little throwback autograph there for Walt Garrison. That is numbered to 299 for the Broncos. It's Philip Lindsay. And there's a chrome Khalil Mack for the Bears. And that box is finished up. So this box that the plastic is coming off of right now is box number 6. So when we finish this box, we'll be at our halfway point. Well, yeah, Nicholas, if Spectra is your favorite brand, I could see why you think Legacy is kind of boring, because Spectra is so vibrant and colorful and so many patterns and a totally different experience than Legacy. So I can understand if Spectra is your favorite, why Legacy is not as much fun for you. I like Spectra as well. That's a pretty awesome product. What did I do? You said I picked up my sorted pile. What do you mean? Did you mean that, did I not show some cards in something? Nicholas, if that's what you're saying, let me know, and I'll grab those last two things that we just looked at, and I can show them to you again if you think we missed something. Just let me know. I mean, basically, they're right now, just as you see when I put them on the table, I just put the base veteran in one pile and everything else in another, so I can easily grab off the top of whichever one of those that you think I missed showing a stack of or something. Then just let me know which one it was, and I can grab it for you again, Nicholas, and we can flip right back through it. You said when we looked at the last autograph, I picked up the sorted pile, but it's all good. So in other words, are you saying then I showed you something that you'd already seen? Is that what you mean? So you just saw it twice, not that you didn't see something. I think that's what you're telling me. In which case, sorry. Sorry if I made you look at something twice. Justin Tucker, we've got another veteran autograph coming out. This one's for the Ravens and your kicker, Justin Tucker. So you don't pull a lot of Justin Tucker autographs, frankly. So if you've got the Ravens, I would think that you would probably like that fairly well. How about some yellow for Sony Michel, numbered to 25? Maybe they're trying to call that gold. They probably are. Looks more yellow to me, but my guess is they're technically probably calling that gold. But at any rate, it's numbered to 25, is for the Patriots. Here comes Hollywood Brown, otherwise known as Marquise Brown. He will be headed to the Ravens. Speaking of the Ravens, it was a Ravens kind of box. You had Justin Tucker and now Hollywood Brown. Yeah, Nicholas, usually that's why when I fairly soon after I set a pile down, you see me kind of, go ahead and sweep them off and put them over on the sorting mat. And one of the reasons I do that is to keep myself from grabbing the wrong pile and making you look at it twice, Numbered to 50, Talib and the Rams. But it sounds like I messed up on one of those and did make you look at some of them twice, but oh well, better to see them twice than to not see them at all, right? Numbered to 299, that's Barry Sanders for the Lions. At least that's how I look at it. Yeah, Ryan C. says you must have the Ravens tonight. You'd say that's not too bad of a haul. I would agree with you. And we're not even done yet. It's to 299 for the Ravens again. That's Lamar Jackson. Yeah, I think the Justin Tucker's cool just because you don't pull him a lot. And, I mean, Hollywood Brown, he should be good. You never know till you see him on the field, but by all accounts, he should be pretty good. It's numbered to 100. That is Kurt Warner for the Rams. So, yeah, I think the Ravens got some good pieces to fit in with Lamar Jackson. They're going to try to, it seems like they're going to try to build around Lamar's skill set, which is the smart way to do it, rather than trying to force him into having a different skill set than what he really has. To 199, how about Dwayne Haskins and the Redskins? That is to 165. Who is that? Jeffrey Simmons. I don't remember where Jeffrey Simmons goes, to be honest with you. I can't think where he goes. If we pull his autograph, I'll look it up for you. I do have a little cheat sheet that I keep here on the table if I need to reference it, because I still haven't learned all these guys. He is one that I specifically do not remember. Although, honestly, by the time I get a sort done, you'd think I'd know everybody frontwards and backwards, but I don't. All right, we are officially halfway there. 6 done, 6 finished, 6 left. That's where we are at the moment. How long has Justin Tucker been the kicker, Ryan, for the Ravens? I mean, I remember him being there for a few years, but I have no idea how long he's actually played for the Ravens. Has it been a long time? I think the Steelers are going to bring Boswell back again after that disastrous outing last year. It looks like we're going to bring him back. I was kind of hoping we would try to find a replacement, or at least a second in line that stays on the roster, sits behind him. I don't know, something, because he was dreadful last year. Quite bad. Oh, Jason, are you saying that Jeffrey Simmons was a Titan or is a Titan? Why, thank you. I could not remember that. All right. He's been there since 2012. Okay, so yeah, he has been there for you a while. I Knew it had been several seasons, but I couldn't remember exactly how many. Chrome red to 100, Adam Humphries for the Titans. It seems like most of the good kickers actually get signed as undrafted free agents. I think people just don't want to spend a draft pick on kickers and long snappers and some of those kind of positions. I think you just, most of the time, you're going to get picked up as an undrafted free agent. Billy Joe Dupree. We are seriously traveling back in time for the Dallas Cowboys, who've got already the nice, what was it, Walt Garrison. Now you've got Billy Joe Dupree headed your way as well, if you've got Dallas. That is to 165, Alex Smith for the Redskins. I believe I saw something that said Alex Smith was at least like showed up at OTAs or something to, you know, say hey to everybody. To 199, Nick Chubb and the Browns. So he's at least in the vicinity. To 299, that was Alex Barnes. And Alex Barnes was an undrafted free agent who I believe signed with the Titans. Now, I would not 100% swear to that, but I think so. All right, Kyle says, you need some mojo. He says, everyone needs to say, Kyle, let's get Kyle a Bronco autograph. He's trying to coordinate basically like his version of the wave for mojo with you guys and gals in chat. I don't know, Kyle. I think you'd probably have to chant back for them too, right? Because like they want to get their hits too, I bet. To 299, Christian McCaffrey and the Panthers. We would hope maybe we could get something for everybody or just about everybody, but you never know. It's to 199. That was Mac Wilson, who once again I believe is the Browns. I still maintain the Browns are going to be pretty darn good this year. I mean, they're going to have growing pains for sure, but I think they're going to be pretty good. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Preston Williams. All right, I got to look at Preston Williams on my little sheet here. I don't remember him. Preston Williams was an undrafted free agent who subsequently signed with the Dolphins. So, Dolphins, Preston Williams, with this weird signature. Like, if that's the P for Preston, and let's say the smiley face is supposed to be the W, why is there another P on the other side? Like, why are there two P's in that signature? Or is the other one not supposed to be a P? I don't know. I've been trying to figure out that guy's signature ever since we opened the early Leaf stuff this year, because he was in some of that, and I've been trying to figure out how in the heck you interpret his autograph ever since then. Still don't know. All right, this is box number 8 coming out of the wrappers right now. So what's everybody's Memorial Day plans look like? We know what Nicholas is doing. He's grilling. He's already told us he's fixed his grill. He's going to be ready to roll. I don't know what we're going to do. Maybe car shopping. Maybe. I thought, actually, that I had a car bought. Like, yeah. Tried to make them an offer. They didn't take the offer. And then a few days after that, they lowered the price to exactly what I offered. So I called to buy the car, and they didn't call me back. My salesperson there was just horrible. And can you imagine a car salesperson, like, not calling you back? I don't usually think the opposite. Like, they never leave you alone. But no, he never called me back. And then when I finally did reach him, he's like, oh, yeah, I sold it. I already sold it to somebody else this morning. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for calling me back, you know, when I was trying to buy it before that other person. Honky Kong says he's just going to sleep, and get some more sleep. I don't mind that plan either. I could deal with that. But I got stuff to do. I think I'll be busy. To 165 J.J. Watt and the Texans. But I would like to get a little extra sleep. That would be nice. I don't know if it's going to be in the cards for me or not, but we'll try it. Philip Lindsay and the Broncos, Chrome numbered 225. Robert Smith and the Vikings. We're pulling a lot of veteran ink out of this particular 12 box. Quite a bit more than we did out of the first 12 box, actually. So the Vikings. Robert Smith headed your way. Ryan C. says that sounds like a dealer to avoid. Yeah, you're not kidding. I kind of thought that anyway. They're not a local dealer. They were out of town, and they were already being kind of squirrely about some stuff, so I was kind of hesitant to begin with, and then that happened, and I was just like, yeah, it probably figures. It's probably for the best that I didn't end up buying from them, because they're a little hard to deal with in many ways. Number to 25, that is Tyreek Hill for the Kansas City Chiefs. So I don't know. I may switch to Acura. We looked at some Acuras today, and they were pretty nice. I've always been a Honda kind of person. Of course, Honda makes Acura, but I've always just been happy with my Hondas. But I didn't like some of the things they changed in 2018 to the new body style. To $299, the Jags, Jalen Ramsey. So we did a little test driving of an Acura, and it was pretty nice. 165 Deontay Thompson. And Deontay Thompson, I believe, is one of like 8 million Cardinals rookies, if memory serves. There's lots of them. Irv Smith Jr. I have the hardest time remembering Irv Smith Jr., so I'm going to look it up, because if I don't, I'm likely to read off the wrong name to you, because I have a hard time retaining this guy. Vikings. So back-to-back Vikings. There with Irv Smith Jr. You said NXS. Oh, good grief, no. What are those like? How much are the, I mean, aren't those like $100,000 car or something? That's to 199. Little Drew Lock. Of course, for the Broncos. Yeah, no, NSX, sadly, quite a bit out of my price range, and not so awfully practical for all the stuff I've got to do. I did look at the Honda Passport too, though. I kind of like the Passport as well, so I don't know. That's about the only Honda I like right now, body style wise. To $299, Damian Harris. Of course, he's a Patriot. We're cranking through them. This is box 9 coming out of the wrappers right now. Oh, did I say, I said NXS earlier because I was reading what Honky Kong said. NSX, yeah. Well, either way, I'm pretty sure that's the one, that's the super pumped up sports car, right? That's really expensive, I think. I think that's the, regardless of whether or not I got the letters backwards, I think we're talking about the same vehicle in the Acura lineup. But it's a lot of money. Nicholas is rooting for his Steelers. He wants to see a little ink come out for Pittsburgh. Yeah, I think you're right. We did have one numbered card for you so far. Now I'm sure there's probably other stuff in inserts, parallels, and whatnot. But as far as I remember, just the one that is numbered. Ooh, we're going to save that pack to the very last because it's a big, thick pack, which means it'll be a relic autograph pairing. We'll save it and open it very last. You know why? Because I'm mean like that, right? I'm going to make you wait. Oh, I know. That's so terrible. But that is the one weird thing about this product this year. They didn't put in any of those little spacers that are meant to, you know, throw you off if you're trying to feel a pack and know if you've got a hit in it. So you could, in theory, just pick up any pack you pick up and you feel it's really thick like that, it's going to be your hit. I was kind of surprised that they didn't put the spacers in. That one is Marcus Peters for the Rams. And, of course, our handsome purple cards are always numbered to 10. Oh, so see, that car is more than I thought. I said it's a $100,000 car. It starts at $157,000. Well, see, there you go. Just right out of my price range. It's to $199 for the Rams. Darn, if it was only $10,000 cheaper. Yeah, no, don't think so. I do not need to drive a car that costs as much as you could buy a small house for. I don't think so. Well, depending on the part of the country, you could buy a small house. Trayvon Mullen Jr., the Raiders. You're looking for TJ Hawkinson, Honky Kong? All right. We'll try to find you some TJ Hawkinson. He's the Lions, right? I think he is. There is Benny Snell Jr. to 165. That goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Nicholas. And the Kyle Long Prism for the Bears. And that's going to be numbered for the Ravens. It's going to be numbered to 50. Bart Scott. To the big 5-0. Red to 299. Andy Isabella. He's a Cardinal. Now, you know what's in this last pack. It's a hit, and it's going to be a relic and an autograph combined. It will hopefully be quite handsome. We're about to find out. Stanley Morgan Jr. And good old Stanley, I don't remember. Let's look you up, Stanley Morgan Jr., since it is a hit. All right, my crystal ball, also known as the piece of paper I have this written on, says that Stanley Morgan Jr. was an undrafted free agent who signed with the Bengals. So assuming he is either still with the Bengals, or even if he's not with the Bengals and he hasn't subsequently gone to anybody else, he would still go to the Bengals. And of course, if he's not with the Bengals and has gone somewhere else, then he would go to the team he was currently associated with. But as of right now, I think he's associated with the Bengals. So. Oh, Nicholas says there was a numbered card that went by that I didn't call out the number on. Oh, sorry, man. If it was a higher numbered one, I probably just let it cruise on by. I apologize. Didn't mean to, but every once in a while, some of those high numbered ones slide by me. But of course, you know, all the numbered cards and inserts, parallels, autographs, and relics all go into the teams. So if you saw it go by, it's coming to you if it belongs to you. All the veteran base, of course, goes to just the veteran base category. All right, let's stop and see what we've got here before we open more packs. Because the opening of the packs, that is not fun. Looking at the cards, that is fun. We can only delay our gratification for so long. Roger Craig and the 49ers. There's a little orange to 199. James Conner for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Chrome to 100. Derek Carr and the Raiders. Brad, the Stanley Morgan card is the one that I just explained that I believe he is a Bengal. But as I said just a moment ago, I'll have to double check that. He was an undrafted free agent last associated with the Bengals that I am aware of. But once again, if he has left the Bengals, got cut, whatever, as long as he is not signed with anybody else in the interim, would still go to the Bengals. If he did get cut from the Bengals and then signed with someone else after that, he would go to the someone else. So, of course, I'll have to double check him before it goes out the door. But as I said, first go around, I do believe he is still a Bengal. Justice Hill coming out to 199. Oh, I have no idea if the person who has the Bengals is here or not. Bengals team owner, if you are here, jump into chat. It seems like Brad might have some interest in acquiring that card from you. So if our Bengals team owner is in the house, jump in here. Let us know. This is numbered to 299. It's Alshon Jeffrey for the Eagles. Oh, and Brad, you said he is still with the Bengals. Okay, good. I kind of figured. People really haven't changed too much yet at this point. But every once in a while, something might be not the way I think it is on one of those undrafted free agents. So I always kind of list those with a little, note and letting you know what happens if I'm wrong. Alex Barnes, numbered to 50, and another undrafted free agent last associated with the Titans, to the best of my knowledge. And that is a little Kyler Murray. It's not numbered, but it is a prism at least for Kyler and the Arizona Cardinals. Oh, Brad, you collect Nebraska. Oh, as a school, you collect Nebraska, the players, the collegiate players. Well, that's cool. I did that for a while with UK players, but I found there were not that many in the NFL and too many in the NBA, so I just kind of let it go by the wayside. That's numbered to 100. There's Will Greer backing up Cam Newton down there in Carolina. Oh, Corey, yes, thank you also for letting me know that he is still Cincinnati. So thank you. Thank you, guys. Well, Brad, if whoever has the Bengals is like watching after the fact and they hit me up and say, hey, I would sell it to him. Do you want me to give them your contact info if they reach out to me later through eBay messages, or not so much, or... Let me know. Let me know what your thought is on that, Brad. I can't guarantee you, of course, that they would anyway, but sometimes people do. It's to 199 DJ Moore and the Panthers. You know, if they weren't watching live, but they'll know that based on what I've said and watching it later that someone was interested in one of their hits. Sometimes they will reach out to me and say, hey, I'd be willing to sell it to him. So you never know. You have Nebraska cards back to 1908. Wow, man. That has taken some time to put together, that collection, hasn't it? Clellan Ferrell to 299. I always want to say Ferrell because, you know, Will Ferrell, the comedian, the actor. But he says the opposite. Ferrell is how Clellan says his name. Here comes Tyree Jackson. And Tyree has a nice dual color swatch there as well. And I think, is he a Bill? I think he might be a Buffalo Bill. Let me double check. He's written down. Yeah, undrafted free agent to the Bills is Tyree Jackson. Box number 11 of 12 coming out of the plastic right now. Lonnie's here. Hi, Lonnie. Jason, you typed in Buffalo Bills. Are you talking about probably that Tyree Jackson card from a minute ago? There's a little bit of a delay from the time you guys type something in the chat till the time it pops up on my side. But I am guessing that that's what you're telling me. That you're agreeing with me that is a Buffalo Bills card. Brad, you say you've been at it for many years. I would say so. I would expect that to be a really big undertaking. Kyle, you just want one hit? That's all you're asking for? Just asking the Mojo to give you one hit? All right, well, let's see if we can make it happen. We'll try. Do the best we can. Of course, we got a bunch more Legacy we'll be opening over the next week or two anyway. I got a fair amount of Legacy. You said Jackson is a Josh Allen clone. Okay, well, then I guess that would make sense why they signed him up in Buffalo. Then if they play a similar style, then it would be easier, obviously, to integrate him into the system. So that would make sense. It's to 199, Larry Fitzgerald and the Cardinals. To 165, Caleb Wilson. I believe Caleb Wilson is an Arizona Cardinal. I wouldn't 100% swear to it, but I think so. To 299, Jamal Adams and the Jets. And here is a little Alex Barnes to 50 with a refractor. Once again, a UDFA to the Titans. Tennessee Titans, baby. Have we seen any of our hits yet out of this box? I don't think we haven't, have we? Did Tyree come out of the last box, or did he come out of this box? I've lost track of whether or not we've seen our hits out of this box yet. I guess we'll find out shortly, since we don't have many left to look through. Well, here comes one of them, so at least there's one for sure that's still in here, because I see it. It is Spencer Ware. And Spencer, where do you go, buddy? Looking. Ooh, I don't have Spencer Ware written down, and I don't remember Spencer Ware off the top of my head either. Because he's not a rookie. Dang, see, I'm thinking, what rookie is Spencer Ware? Oh my God. My head is in a totally wrong place. He's an actual current player with the Kansas City Chiefs, which, had I not had my head firmly up my rear end, I would have remembered that. But I'm so busy thinking, rookie. Why don't I remember a rookie named Spencer Ware? Yeah, because there isn't one. There's a current player named Spencer Ware, though, to 299. That's the Green Bay Packers. Mercy. It's been a long week. It always is when I'm trying to teach myself, drill myself on all the new players. It gets to be dreadful. Number 2/100, it is Hollywood Marquise Brown, Ravens. Oops, I stacked him with the autographs. He needs to be stacked in a little different spot. Lonnie, you need a Dwayne Haskins autograph. Okay. Well, we'll see if we can have some luck there. Somebody asked for a dual autograph, and I did, Nicholas, just pull a dual autograph. I believe it's you that just asked for it, but it's not the players that you asked for. However, we do have a dual. And it is Deebo Samuel for the 49ers on one side, and Hakeem Butler on our opposite side for the Cardinals. So we've got 49ers and Cardinals going head-to-head on that card. It is numbered to 50. It's going to sit right up there, and we'll deal with it at the end of the break because we'll have to look and see if we get really lucky, maybe the same person owns both teams and we don't have to go to random. It's to 165, Phillip Rivers and the Chargers. But if we have two different team owners, then we will have to use random.org to make a determination for us as to which one of those two teams would get that card. So here we go. It is last box mojo time tonight. We're going to try to find the volcanic fire here in our last box. See if we can't bring the house down with our hits out of here. I'll do my best anyway. See how we come out. Jason said his Titans are on fire tonight. Nicholas is feeling sad because he hasn't hit any autographs yet. Although you have had 3 or 4 numbered cards, so at least we've improved over what you have hit out of the half case 6-box breaks you had been doing with somebody or another. So at least we've improved your circumstances a little, but I will try to make it even better for you here. We'll ask the mojo. We're still working on that Broncos mojo too, of course. Okie dokie. Numbered to 299, Deshaun Watson and the Texans. And nothing yet. Whoops. There's a numbered one to 299 for the Packers. Almost flew by that one. Kyle says it has been a sad break for his Broncos so far. He needs to see some improvement. I'm going to try, man. I'm trying. Honky Kong didn't even want the Darius Slay card that he hit. He said, no way. Tyreek Hill to 100 for the Kansas City Chiefs. See, now I have to tell you, I always would prefer to hit something over nothing. It doesn't even matter if it's something I want or not. I would rather always get something. It's to 165, Philip Lindsay and the Broncos. But Honky Kong, he's not agreeing with that tonight. It's to 199, Irv Smith Jr. I believe we learned earlier that he is a Viking. Hopefully I will be able to retain that until such time as I am sorting these. Otherwise I'll have to look it up again. Okie dokie. We are rapidly approaching the end, but not quite there yet. Jalen Ferguson. Jalen Ferguson goes to the Ravens. Honky Kong, you got a lot of Darius Slay when you were looking for Kerryon Johnson. Isn't that the truth? Yeah, I can understand that. That definitely happens sometimes. You're after one player and you get just a boatload of another player on your team instead. Mark Gastineau for the Jets on a chrome. And a nice little Carolina blue. Those are numbered a little lower than our royal blue. Matt Ryan and the Falcons. That is numbered to 25. All right, we got 2 little packs left here. And one that is going to be going to random potentially. Nicholas, you said Devin Bush is one of the hardest autographs to get out of this year's product. Yeah, I mean, for sure, it's always harder to get the autographs for the defensive players. They tend to not typically be as plentiful for the players on the offensive side of the ball. Even when they're drafted high, it's often they are not in as plentiful supply. Keith Brooking for the Falcons, numbered to 50. So yeah, I mean they'll be around, but they're certainly not going to be as easy to hit as you point out there. So Dexter Williams is our last autograph, and Dexter Williams is a Packer. So the Green Bay Packers taking home the last hit of the night. And a couple little odds and ends there. And we're close to recapping, but we're not quite there yet because we've got this still to find a home for. So we're going to first look and see whether or not the same person owns the Cardinals as owns the 49ers. And if they don't, then we're going to have to go to random.org. If we go to random, the 49ers will be typed in first because Debo is at the top of the card. And at the bottom of the card is where we find Hakeem Butler. And, of course, Hakeem Butler is our Cardinal. So if we have to go to random, we will hit random 3 different times. And only the third random would make the determining factor. The first 2 won't count. So that's kind of how it's going to work. But first, let's take a look. Our Arizona Cardinals belong to Logic Boy, and our San Francisco 49ers belong to Ray No One, or something maybe not pronounced even remotely like that, but you get the general idea. So yeah, 2 different team owners mean we are indeed, and in fact, headed to random.org. So once again, 49ers will be typed in first because they're on the top of the card. The Arizona Cardinals typed in second. Okay, now ignore this first random. Ignore the second one. here comes our third and final, and there you'll see 3 times our date and time stamp. It ends up going to the Arizona Cardinals. So I need to, well, I can remember that long enough we'll do it afterwards. So this little card right here ended up going to the Hakeem Butler position for the Arizona Cardinals. It is numbered to 50. Next up is our Dexter Williams card that we just saw for the Packers. And then Jalen Ferguson, Spencer Ware, Tyree Jackson, Alex Barnes. Alex is numbered to 50. Behind that is Stanley Morgan Jr., Trayvon Mullen Jr., Irv Smith, Robert Smith, Preston Williams, Billy Joe Dupree, Marquise Hollywood Brown, Justin Tucker, Walt Garrison. You get the ones we've already looked at out of the way before I end up showing you those twice, right? Like I did something earlier. I know, I remember. The worst autograph by far of this year's rookie class, and that award goes to our dear friend Rashawn Gary here. That is just hideous. Devin White, Paris Campbell, Damian Harris, Darius Slay, A.J. Brown, Talib, DeAndre Baker, and Kelvin Harmon. All right, so that's the break. That's the recap. But you know what we're going to do? Yeah, you got it. We're going to put up spreadsheet information one more time. So if you missed seeing it earlier about your shipping date or any of that stuff, it is coming back at you right now. So once again, please remember, Monday is a holiday. There is no mail service at all. Nothing will be picked up. Nothing will be delivered. So that means we are looking at Tuesday to get this out the door and on the way to you. There's no way I can get it ready tomorrow before the post office closes, right? They do those little short hours on Saturday. So Tuesday it is in terms of shipping. And of course, we don't have to worry about consolation cards. Every team will be getting cards from this break, I feel quite sure. So our breaks that are coming up, tomorrow night we're going to do a half case of Prism Baseball. It's the back half of a case we started a few days ago. Sunday night is an off night. Monday night we're going to do a half case of Bowman Baseball, which is also the back half of a case. On Tuesday, we're going to do another 12-box case of Legacy Football. We will once again start at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. And same as tonight, Veteran Base has its own bidding position. Veteran Base cards do not ship to the teams. They go to that bidding position instead. On Wednesday, we're going to open a 10-box case of Panini Leather and Lumber Baseball. That is like a $2,000 case of cards. I am super nervous about it. I have a bad feeling that I'm going to end up like losing so much money on it. I mean, maybe not, but I don't know. New products are always dicey until people, get a look at them and decide how they feel about them. I noticed most of the other breakers were listing them as 5-box half case breaks, so I must not be the only one that's feeling a little nervous about it. But at any rate, I decided to just go for the gusto. We're going to go for the whole 10 boxes and well, we'll see how it happens. So that, I guess, is it for me tonight. Once again, thanks everyone for being here. I very much appreciate you spending part of your evening with me. I will be back at it tomorrow night, of course, so I hope to see you then. But if I don't see you then, I hope I'll see you sometime soon. Take care, and we'll catch you the next time. Bye now.